Hi, this is a response to Heinrich's Very Bad Poetry, Part 3. And I've got this old poetry book. I hope you can see the horrible condition of it. It looks like it was found in a flood. Isn't this awful? And the copyright page is 1903. Oh, brilliant. And somebody has written a poem in it. In pencil. I thought that was interesting. In old handwriting. And I found it in my mom's stuff, but it's not a name that I recognize, or not a signature that I recognize, and they wrote it several times, so it looks like feminine handwriting. I'm going to say it's somebody practicing her newly married name, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, the poem that I found is not in with the author's regular poems. It's rather in his biographical notes, because it's not something I bet he'd be proud of, although maybe because he wrote it before he was 12 years old, and the author is Edgar Allan Poe. It's called The Lake. In youth's spring it was my lot to haunt of the wide earth a spot, the which I could not love the less, so lovely was the loneliness of a wild lake with black rock bound, and the tall pines that towered around. But when the night had thrown her pall upon that spot, as upon all, and the wind would pass me by in its stilly melody, my infant spirit would awake to the terror of the lone lake. Yet that terror was not fright, but a tremulous delight. And that's a line he uses later in the Bells, or very similar to a line he uses in the Bells, one of my favorite poems of all time. And a feeling undefined, springing from a darkened mind. Death was the poisoned wave, and in its gulf a fitting grave for him who thence would solace bring to his dark imagining, whose wildering thought could even make an Eden of that dim lake. The poem was published in this form in his first volume when he was 18 years old, and was retained in every subsequent edition of his poems, in the edition of 1831 being inserted as a part of Tamerlane. In the successive editions he made less changes in this than any other of his earliest poems. The memory of a mystic lake of poisoned waves with the black rock bound appears often in others of his works, until it becomes the dim lake of Auber in his greatest poem. I wonder what they think that might be. The love of loneliness and of night, the tremulous delight and terror, the thought of a darkened mind that seeks for death and finds in it an Eden, all remain characteristic of his later writing. And so it goes. So I thought I'd share that with you. Hope you're having a great weekend, and be grateful we're all safe and sound from the big earthquake and the tsunami. Yeah, gosh, what a day.